What's up, YouTube? Today I'm gonna teach you how to safe-proof your home for your children. For those of you that have kids of your own, or for those of you that's starting a daycare in your home. I'm here to show you how to safe-proof your home. Well, let's start by saying that one of the first things you need to do is to make sure that you sweep properly your entire house. Make sure that it's free from any small objects that your child may be able to put into his or her mouth. Okay, that's the first and foremost thing that you need to do. Secondly, you need to make sure that the toys that you have your kids are age appropriate. Which means that if your kid is like 6 months or less, or up until about, you could say from 6 months and up, it shouldn't be a toy that have small parts, okay? It should not be able to fit inside of their mouth at all. Okay, the first thing I want to show you is these are called socket covers. Okay, you can get some of these like from the 99-cent store, whatever, like these, but I don't really like these because they're a little too cheap and it's very easy for them to take them out. So it's best to get something like this, like the more heavy duty one. You could find some that's safety first, that you actually could get from the hardware store, and they have like a little lock on the side, so you put it inside the socket and it like clicks, so the kids is not able to easily access it. Okay, so it's not easily accessible to kids. And that's to keep the kids from sticking their hand in there if their hands is wet, or, or sticking their hand in there, getting electrocuted or anything like that. So that's what the socket covers is for. Next, this right here is actually for the stove knobs. Okay, so that the kids can't just go in the kitchen and just turn the fire on that easily. So this goes over, let me show you an example. What you would do, right here, I don't know if you can see this part right here, you will open like this. You will remove the knob from the stove like this. You will place this over the hole of the knob, and then you will place the knob back on and press this up. This way, it just turns. The child cannot, under any circumstances, turn this. Okay, so they won't be able to turn on the fire. Also, even though I do not have that piece, there's a piece that safeguards this whole side of the stove where they're not able to touch the stove eyes. That's here. It's a glass piece. Well, actually, it's not glass. It's actually a hard plastic that you can also get from the hardware store. You can get it. It's also by Safety First, I believe. They may have other brands that I don't know about, but yeah, it's like a plastic that covers the stove where the kids is not allowed to touch the stove when the eyes, okay, so they don't burn themselves. The next thing, we have these little locks. So if you have, and it's by Safety First as well, it's called cabinet and drawer latches. What happens is, when you have cabinets as such as these that do not lock, and you don't want the kids to go in it, you have to you have to put a hole inside of like the little cabinet, and then press this in. This little piece right here is self-explanatory. It goes at the top, and you close it. And then it's not able to open unless you press it down. You can open a little bit, press it, and then it comes apart. Okay? Now, the next thing that you guys will definitely have to have when the inspectors come to your house, to make sure that everything is in order. That's if you're doing the daycare in your home, or if you just have kids. It's good to know all of this, all right? Secondly, when you have products like, for example, Pine Sol, bleach, any kind of hazardous products, you need to put it at the very top of something out of the kids' reach. Second thing, always make sure that when you're in the kitchen, you should have a fire extinguisher. in a place where the fire could start. Okay, the fire extinguisher should always be on full. Always. If you see it reaching the red, it means you need to throw it away and get another one. All right. Now this fire extinguisher is actually for pretty much everything. It's an ABC fire extinguisher, and it comes with the instructions, so you wouldn't have a problem, learning how to use it. The next thing that you have to do is make sure that you have a safety gate. This is by Safety First as well. They have a lot of products, and it's pretty credible, if you ask me. That's why I get their products. It's pretty good. This is Safety First. It's a gate that you have to put across here to keep the kids from going to the kitchen if you don't want them there. So you can get several of these and cover the entrance to each one of your entrances if you want, okay? If you have an infant or a child that you do not want to go in a certain place, the kitchen or bathrooms or what have you, okay, the way you do this actually lets down. So when you get ready to let it down, you go like that and it holds this in place. So it can't, they can't just easily like go through it or anything like that. When you get ready to take it up, you pull this back, lift this up, and then you can remove it. Now the next thing you need to know, also I have these. If you have closets that just open like this and don't have nothing that prevents the kids from going inside, this too is from Safety First. I don't know if you can see the name, but this too is from Safety First. So what you do, you put this across like this, across your doorknobs, and you just press this in and it locks. This button right here, if you're able to see it, the gray button, you would press to release it, open it up, and that way you could get in, okay? So you need that. Also, your fire extinguisher, not the fire extinguisher, your smoke alarm and your carbon monoxide is both. You have to have that in working condition. If you do not have that in working condition, guys, if you have a daycare and the inspectors come, you will get fined for that. That's very important. That's one of the main things that they look for as well. Okay? So I think we covered the basics. Also, if you have a washing machine, such as this one, I have a child-proof lock on this. So the kids just can't go in or try to climb in here or anything. So this is a child-proof lock washing machine that I have. Excuse the clothes. It's really good. This is by Direct Drive, and the name is True Balance Anti-Vibration System. It's a pretty good washer. I had this like around about probably like 7 or 8 years. Okay, so pretty much those are the main things that you will need in order to make sure that you pass inspection when the inspectors come out. Okay, remember, you have to clean everything off. You gotta make sure that the carpet, everything is free from pennies, any small objects that's on the floor, dust, lint, all of that. The house should be spanking clean. All right, the floor should be mopped, all of that, because you guys will need that done. And just other little few things that they look for. Make sure you have a flashlight, first aid kit. Make sure you have an emergency kit in case, there's a fire, anything like that. Make sure you have blankets, slippers, change in your bag to make a phone call if you have to. Make sure your cell phone is charged all the way up in case you need to call from the cell phone. Make sure that you have an ice pack in case, for whatever reason, maybe a kid probably like trip and fall or anything, you gotta have that. Make sure you have ace bands. Make sure you have contact numbers in your bag. Make sure you have ointments. Make sure you have gloves, blankets, sheets, everything that you could think of that a child may need in an emergency. You should have in your emergency bag, okay? Okay, well, pretty much that's it. That's about pretty much that I have what I have to cover as far as the safety issues. Oh, and one more thing that's important too. You cannot have peel and paint. If you have peel and paint, I suggest that you go to the store, you get the, I don't know what you call it, but it's like the the putty that you cover the holes with or whatever, and just do it yourself. Do not get a violation. If you have a lazy landlord that don't want to do his job and you have chip and paint, go there, get the let me show you. The paint, I don't know what you call it, but I don't even know if I have it right now. Well, it's the little flat tool that gets the paint off the wall, and make sure you cover that spot with the it's not sheetrock. It's something. It's like a putty. You can ask them what you cover holes with. You put it on the wall, and that's fine. You won't get a violation because it's not peeling paint anymore. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So it's some things you could do on your own without getting a violations, and don't have to wait for your landlord to do it. You have to cover it yourself. Okay. All right, and furthermore, I think that's about it. So, guys, if you... Oh, also, I almost forgot, the last thing, but least thing, is that these pipe covers you are going to need. Especially for the winter, you definitely need these pipe covers. So make sure that you get these so the kids do not burn themselves on the pipes because they are extremely hot. Okay, so also the bottom, wherever you have space, wherever it's hot at, make sure that you have these covers. Now these covers aren't really the correct covers. They're supposed to be like this, but because I couldn't find those, I had to put these. But these they work. It's just that these are more suitable and this is more appropriate because of the simple fact they don't melt to the pipe. This, however, sometimes as you can see, like sometimes it kind of melt a little bit. But the kids won't burn themselves on it, though, if they was to touch it, okay? So that's the last thing that I need to show you. Everything else, you should be good. As long as you cover all those items, then you should be okay as far as your inspections, besides the fact that you need to, have your medicals and everything up to point. But that's another thing. We're talking about safety issues, okay? Within the home, the things that you have to do before the inspectors come out. And if you should have just kids and you don't have a daycare, still follow the same rules because it's for the safety of the children. Like that video and you want to see more videos, I need you to subscribe to my channel. Make sure you turn on those post notifications, like this video, and share it with everyone that you know. Peace.